Hey there, rock stars, it's Trainer Tracy. I wanted to share with you a brief stretching routine in case you've been spending your quarantine sitting down. Now, many of you may be working from home using an office chair that's less than perfect, and some of you may be sitting on the couch binging Netflix, and that's okay. But those prolonged periods of sitting down can lead to some really tight spots in the body, specifically tight shoulders, tight upper back, tight hip flexors. And so these stretches are designed to get into those trouble spots just a little bit. But first, a few guidelines if you're new to stretching. Always move in a pain-free range of motion. We never want to be feeling pain in our stretches. Second, we want to match our breathing with our movement. So please never hold your breath during any kind of stretches. And third, do what feels right for you. This isn't a competition. It doesn't matter how far someone else can stretch. It's just about what you can do right here, right now. And with that being said, let's get to it. First, I'd like to start with a little breathing work. I don't know about you, but the past couple of weeks have been a little stressful. So this breathing work is designed to let out some of that stress. Now, sit up nice and tall. You can sit with your legs however is comfortable for you, crossed, out, whatever works. Let's bring your hands to your knees, palms up, and sit up nice and tall. Try to lengthen your spine, lengthen through the crown of your head, and maybe close your eyes just for a moment. You'll still be able to hear me. I'll know if you're cheating. We're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And a loud, open mouth exhale. I want you to pretend like you're breathing fire. Deep breath in through the nose. Loud, open mouth exhale. Inhale a little positivity. Exhale out all that stress. Don't be scared if you're making funny noises. Deep breath in. Be loud. One last time, deep breath in. Very nice. Open your eyes. Let's take a deep breath in and circle your arms up overhead, palms together. And then exhale, circle them back down. Just getting in touch with the body, linking your breathing with the movements of your arms, centering yourself in your stretching practice. Very good. We're going to keep one arm down. Take the other arm over. Nice big side bend. Try to keep your hips down on the ground. Relax the knees, relax the legs. Maybe look up towards the sky. Get the elbow up a little higher. Circle back down. Take the other arm up and over. Then press your hips down into your mat or floor, whatever you're sitting on. Maybe take your gaze up. Good, one more time on each side, up and over. Other side. And back down. Very good. Always returning to a nice neutral spine position. Deep breath in. We're going to interlace the fingers behind your head. Tuck the chin, breathe out. Maybe round the spine a little bit forward. And then take a nice deep breath in. Push the elbows back. Open up the chest. Open up your heart to the sky. Lifting the chin. Pressing backwards. Exhale, tuck it forward. A little round, a little tuck. Pull down with the hands. Deep breath in and press back. And we're trying not to bend from the lower back. Think about opening up the chest portion. Come back to a nice neutral position. We're going to bend to the side with one elbow up. Again, think about bending through the middle part of your spine, not the lower back. To the other side. And we're still pressing those elbows back just a little bit. We don't want to be caving forward at all. Other side, one more time each. let's bring the hands down. Roll those shoulders. I'm going to switch up the direction. You can go at your own pace, of course. I'm going forward, going back. Very nice. I'm going to drop the ear to one shoulder. Just pause here for a moment. Now with this angle here, we don't want this shoulder to creep back up into those ears. So if you need to bring this hand down, if you need to wrap it around or even sit on it, do whatever you need to do to keep that shoulder down. With this other side, we're going to take our hand, gently apply very light pressure down the head, opening up the neck, holding for a few seconds. We got to give those muscles time to relax. Deep breaths. And then we're going to rotate our eyes and our nose down, like we're trying to look down towards our hip. With this hand that's up top, hold down and to the side. You should feel a nice, tasty stretch all along the back part of your upper back, shoulder area, that space where the neck meets the head. Try to relax. As you warm into these stretches a little bit, see if you can go a little farther. And on your next exhale, very gently, let's come on out of that stretch. I'm going to do the same too on the other side. So drop the ear to the shoulder. And again, let's keep this shoulder down. So wrap the arm behind you or sit on your arm, whatever you got to do to further that stretch along. Let's take this hand wrapper on the side. Apply very gentle pressure down the head, getting that ear just a little closer to the shoulder. And just pause here. It can be easy to just spend 2 or 3 seconds per stretch, but that isn't truly very effective with these static stretches. A little more, and then very gently look down, rotating down, pull the head down to the side. Nice deep breaths. Take a little farther if you can. It is your neck, so always be mindful of what you're doing. Let's come on out of that stretch. Again, just another couple of shoulder rolls. Feels good. Now for a classic, arm across the body. You can use your opposite arm to pull in, pull across. We're stretching all across the shoulder or back area. Now you can pause here for a moment, or you can rock the arm up and down just a little bit. It doesn't take much. You're just taking that shoulder joint through a range of motion versus just one plane that we're stretching in. Time to switch. Take it over. Try not to twist too much. A little twist around is okay. Again, you can hold here, or you can add a little bit of motion. Again, we always want to be mindful of how far we're stretching or what kind of movement we're doing while our muscles are in a lengthened position. Very good. Well, let's bring it down. Let's take a nice deep breath in, circle the arms up, and on your exhale, engage the core and fold forward over your legs. Make sure your head is nice and relaxed. To walk the hands back and do that one more time. Deep breath in. And exhale, fold forward. Stretch out the back. From our seated position, we're going to move into a half kneeling position so that we can stretch out our hip flexors. Now, when I say hip flexors, I mean the small muscles, right, kind of right in front of the hips here that are responsible for bringing the legs forward. When we spend a lot of time sitting down, these muscles can get very shortened and very overactive. So it can lead to imbalances in other parts of the body. So it's a really good thing to stretch these muscles here after sitting for a long time. So we're coming to one knee forward and one knee down, 90-degree bends roughly in both knees. Now this knee is bearing a lot of weight, so if you need a little extra cushion, now would be a great time to grab a thick mat, a pillow, a balance pad, anything to give it a little padding under that kneecap. We're going to have our back foot nice and flat, and we're going to square our shoulders and our hips to the front of our mat. So whatever direction your toe is pointing in, that's what I want everything to be facing. Now, when we do a hip flexor stretch to get into this area right here, I want you to make sure that you're not arching this lower part of your back. So we're going to squeeze the glutes and tuck the pelvis forward. It's just a tiny little movement, but it helps align the pelvis so that you can stretch this and not put a burden here on your lower back. So again, we've got a pelvic tuck, we've got our glutes squeezing really strong. Glutes meaning your butt. I said butt. We're going to push the hips forward and down just a little bit. When the back side is engaged, you don't really need to go very far. This isn't necessarily about how long you can make this stretch, but about what you can activate. So we're really focusing right here, maybe down in this leg as well. If you want to take it a little further, inhale the arms up and lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Again, try to avoid crunching that lower back. Think of it like a heart opener. Think about lifting out of the crease that your bent leg is making. And as you warm up a little bit, maybe you can sink into it a little farther. On your next exhale, let's bring the arms down. I'm going to have you bring one hand to the knee. We're going to twist our torso open. Belly is nice and strong, pulling in towards the spine. And we're going to push this knee backwards as you sink in just a little bit. Glutes are still staying nice and strong. Maybe use this hand here to open up the hips just a little more. Relax the shoulders. Sink a little deeper, pushing down through this heel. Take a deep breath in, circle the arms up. And on your exhale, we're going to twist to the other side. So again, strong core, big wide arms. You may feel a stretch through the glutes, to the side of the hip. Untwist, bring the arms up. Let's circle them down, and we're going to straighten this front leg just a little bit, popping the heel forward, lifting the toe. You can stay up like so, and fold forward to get into the hamstring, that's the back of the upper leg, or you can maintain a nice flat back and fold forward. There's lots of ways to reduce the intensity of the stretch, so if you need a little baby bend to that knee, please feel free. Just make sure with your hips that you're not sliding all over the place. Keep everything nice and square, keep your back long. This isn't necessarily about getting your nose to your knee, but about feeling that good stretch through your hamstrings. You may feel it all the way down into your calves as well, depending on where you have tightness. Deep breath in. Exhale, try to sink a little deeper. And on your next exhale, we're just going to come out of our half kneeling position. Feel free to wiggle around a little bit, whatever feels good. You're going to do that same thing on the other side. So half kneeling position. One foot comes forward, the other one comes back. We're tilting the pelvis forward, squeezing the glutes, and pushing forward to feel a good stretch down the hip flexor. If you want, you can raise your arms up to the ceiling, lifting through the chest, lifting through the heart, creating space in between your torso and your hip. Sinking a little farther. On your next exhale, we're going to drop the hands. One hand comes to this knee. We're going to twist around, open this knee, pushing out. Deep breath in, arms come up. Exhale, twist around. Remember, anytime we're doing any kind of twist, you want to pull the belly button in. It's just another way to brace your core, to protect the spine. You feel a nice stretch through here. Maybe you feel it through the back. Maybe you feel it through the chest. Arms come up, deep breath in. Exhale, bring them down. We're going to straighten this front leg here. Heel is down, toe is up. Remember, you can vary the intensity of a hamstring stretch based on what your knee is doing. You can stay up, you can fold forward, whatever works for you, whatever feels good. Remember, nice long spine. Breathe. Easy to hold the breath, but we don't want to do that. Try to make sure your hips are nice and square. And on your next exhale, bend just a little bit. We're going to come back to a hands and knees position. So your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. Take a nice deep breath in and push the chest forward and through your hands. Lift your head up out of the shoulders. Tilt the tailbone up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone round the back. Drop the head. Again, drop the belly button. Make a nice little bowl shape with your back. And exhale, make a bridge or a rainbow shape with your back. Let's work into that spinal mobility. See how far you can stretch the belly. Pretending like there's a string attached to the middle of your back, pulling you up. One more time. From this position, let's bring our toes together, our knees a little bit wide, sit back on your heels and reach forward, relax the upper body, push the chest down, push the shoulders down, and lengthen through the fingertips. Try to create as much distance as you can from your fingertips all the way down through your lower back. Come forward onto your belly, and then roll over. From our backs, we're going to stretch our we're going to stretch our glutes just a little bit. So I'm going to extend my right leg nice and straight, firm against the mat. So from our backs, we're going to stretch our glutes just a little bit. Let's stretch your right leg nice and flat against the mat or the ground. Press it down into the ground and hug your left knee into your chest. We're going to wrap our fingers around the knee, around the shin, and pull directly in.
Now, if you need to, you can always hug behind the knee. You can get a towel and wrap it around the leg and pull the towel in. Whatever works for you to give you the leverage that you need to work into the stretch a little bit. Now, you may be starting to feel a stretch through the glutes to the lower back, even the inner thigh with that extended leg. If this is too intense for you, you can always plant the foot of that extended leg too. But if not, try to drive through that heel, make it very active. Now let's take this knee and shift it to the outside of the body just a little bit. Make sure your hip is staying down on the ground. All of these stretches are done with your head and your shoulders on the mat. We don't want to be lifting our head, craning the neck in any way. Now let's glide this knee across like we're trying to point it at our opposite shoulder. The hips don't come off too much off the ground. This isn't a spinal twist. We're just trying to get into the meat of the butt and the thighs. Before taking this knee all the way over for a big spinal twist. Now I'm going to run into the wall here. Hopefully you've got space on either side of you, left to right, so that you can really get into this twist. In fact, that works a little better. So again, pull the belly button into the spine. Keep the shoulder down on your mat, and maybe take your gaze to the opposite direction of your twist. So if your knee is going off to the right, look off to the left. You can stay here as long as you need. I'm going to bring it back around. Recenter. Wiggle it out, shake out the hips if you need. Before extending that left leg, nice and active, nice and flat, and hugging the right knee into the chest. Remember, the tailbone shouldn't be popping up off the ground. We don't want to be rolling the spine in any way. Spine stays nice and flat. Remember, you can always bend this knee if you need. Nice active, long holds for these, long holds. Try not to bend your spine to the sides. Make sure the pelvis is straight. It's perpendicular to the spine. Your spine isn't shaped like a C in any way. Let's glide that knee to the outside of the body, opening up those inner thighs just a little more. And then taking it across the chest, pointing it at the opposite shoulder, hips stay down. Before taking that knee all the way over, big twist, shoulder stays down and back, chest opens up, spine twists, and your head tilts just a little bit to the other direction. Pause here. I know it can be difficult to breathe when you're in a twist, but please do keep breathing. It's good life advice. On your next exhale, let's come on back to the center. Legs extend, arms extend overhead, big full body stretch, tuck the chin, make yourself as tall as you can. Engage the core, hug both knees into your chest, rock it out. Massaging the lower back into the ground, rock left, rock right. That's tough to say. Before coming over to your side, pushing yourself up to seated, and come on back to whatever comfortable seated position you like.
You're going to sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Deep breath in, circle the arms up overhead. Deep breath out, circle it back down. Again, deep breath in, circle up. Deep breath out, circle down. One last time, deep breath in, circle up, palms come together at the top. Exhale them down to the chest. Open your eyes. And thank you all so much for joining me with these stretches. You may have been told that you are not essential, but you know what? You are essential to me. Love you all. Rock on. Thanks for joining us.